Do you guys know how to tie a tie? Well, you go to these professional events, like maybe at a job or a wedding, or just maybe out in public, and you see people with ties. And you look at them and think, how did you do that? And maybe in your head, you're thinking, I've tried, it's way too hard, or it's way too confusing, or I get it in a knot. Well, today, I'm going to go step by step in teaching you how to tie a tie. And hopefully, this is something that you can remember. Today, we're going to go over how to tie a tie, how to make it look neat, and then why it's important to know how to tie a necktie. All right, let's start tying this knot. First, going to grab your necktie, and I'm going to be mirroring you. So I'm going to put the larger side, I like to put it on the right. Once you put it on the right, take the smaller side and bring it up a little bit. This is going to depend for each different person because this will show how long your tie will be at the end. First, you're going to take the big side, and you're going to go over the small side. Once you go over the small side, you're going to go around, and I like to bring it up through the hole just to make it more secure in the end. Then I'm going to pull it tight because then it makes it easier in the end. So once you're here, this is not the end position. You're going to keep on going. So it's going to kind of be leaning one way or the other already. So you're just going to wrap it around. So now this is laying in front. This is going to be what's showing in the front of your tie at the end. Once you wrap it around, pinch that bulge, bring it up through the neck, and pull it through. Once you get here, it should be kind of hanging there. All right, and I like to think of this as the bunny hole. Take the big side of your tie, loosen it up a little bit, bring it through the hole, and pull it down. All right, once you're there, you should have a nice bulge. Then, to tighten your tie, you're going to take the bottom side or the smaller side and pull it down just like so. And the opposite of that, take your tie, grab it here, and pull down to loosen whichever side has the smaller side, and it should just slide right out. All right, now we are going to go over how to make the tie look neat. Okay, this thing stopped working. As shown on the board, there are multiple different ways to tie a tie, and this is definitely not the only one. You can find those different ways on ties.com, which also presented the photo on the past slide behind me. Also, when doing a tie, there's different ways to do the bulge, and it depends on each different person. For example, if you want this to be a little bit smaller, pull this really, really tight, and it'll make it a lot smaller. If you want it to be a little bit bigger, you can either make it not so tight by not pulling this down as hard, or you can repeat the step of wrapping it around. If you wrap it around a couple more times, the bulge will get a little bit bigger. Now, there are times where things get a little bit messy. So things could twist around, or this can turn around, or this can be in front. One thing you can try is starting from the beginning, or I kind of like to call it the shimmy and shake. Kind of shimmy it around, look at yourself in a mirror, or pull this side up until you get it just the way you like and looking nice, neat, and professional like the photos behind me. Next, I'm going to talk about why it's so important to know how to tie a necktie. A lot of people wear ties in professional events, and it's not only men that wear ties as well. If you're like me, I wore a tie all the time as a little kid. So, when wearing a tie, a lot of times we wear these things, like I said before, in jobs or in weddings. And another point is that when wearing a necktie, it can present a position of power. Not only does it present a position of power, but it presents a profession of professionalism. And that's all the picture that we want to present today. Today, we went over how to tie a necktie, how to make it look neat, and how to look professional. Now, after we have gone through all these steps slowly so that you can remember, I hope you guys can lead your generation into professionalism and knowing how to tie a necktie. Thank you for listening.